Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more Beastly content. Today I'm going to be telling you how to unlock the Phase 1, 2, and 3 rewards of the Extreme Weather chest. So, the main thing you need to know is that you're actually going to need to be summoning the Chaosweavers. Now, there's a securement status total here, says 3 out of, whatever on my screen right now. So, it does appear that after 10 secures on a tower, you will actually gain progress on the seasonal goals. So your main thing is going to be summoning Chaosweavers and fighting Chaosweavers. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go gather some Chaosium hearts. Link down below to a Chaosium hearts farm. I will be working on a better one soon enough. However, you need to gather Chaosium hearts and feed them to the hub. Everybody can feed them to it. It's a public sort of feeding situation. When you gather 20 of them and 20 of them fed to the hub, if you fed any of them, you can spend 20 of the hub's Chaosium hearts to actually summon a Weaver. There's a 15-minute build cooldown, so one of the things you're going to need to do is grab yourself some building materials. Only the one who summons the Weaver can actually do territory building there, so do keep that in mind. You're going to want to build a defensive structure, so either bring materials to give to your server's builder or be the server builder. You really just kind of got to ask, hey, who's the builder on here building the defenses? Bring them some brick, bring them some steel ingots, and bring them some logs. Also, I'm using a Starry Bubbly Tea. We're using our low HP anti-gravity build for this. You can fight Chaosweavers during inversion, and we're going to be doing that today. We're just using normal ammo for now. I did go ahead and unlock the last stage of ammo, and we went ahead and made ourselves some penetration ammo, just due to the fact that the Weaver can actually, one of the hubs, a couple of the hubs are actually in polluted zones, and what that means is the Fool can actually spawn. So, like I said, 15-minute build timer, 20 hearts to summon a Weaver, and the towers do have personal buffs as well as like regional buffs, which we will talk about that at the end. I'll explain how to get the buffs. Right here, we're just chilling with the crew, waiting for the Weavers to spawn. Shout out server 131 of the early access whale winner. But yeah, so we gonna get this done now. Just figured I'd show you this real quickly. We were all just gathered here waiting. There was so many, I figured why not. So this is actually the defensive structure I recommend. Now, I didn't design this. This is Mordecai or something like that, whoever was chilling in the chat, who actually built this and designed this. It's literally just triangle foundations with 3 tall walls and a little bit of space in between them all the way around the tower. It defends it absolutely amazingly. The tower doesn't seem to get damaged hardly at all. I'm not sure if it's their design or somebody else's design, or if it's just like a slap it together and hey, this works. But regardless, this works really well. I really do like this design. Let me give you a quick rundown of the Weavers. So it's pretty much the same thing no matter which Weaver it is. So it will start off to where their arm has a weak spot exposed. It can actually be damaged. You need to shoot the arm until it enters this certain state of shielded, and then you're going to need to shoot the arm until the shield breaks on the arm. Once the shield breaks on the arm, the hands will start to glow, and its little tail in the back will start to glow, whether it's a cold one or a hot one. Once again, the hot one is going to make it hotter, the cold one's going to make it colder. You shoot the tail and you shoot the hands until those stop glowing. The hot one actually likes to smack together these hot rocks that he's holding. He's holding like giant hot rocks. He'll smack them together. This will send a pulse wave attack out at you. That's another reason why the low HP anti-gravity build, or even just an anti-gravity build, is an absolute blast for the Chaosweaver. Like I said, we weren't using the anti-gravity half of the build here because inversion hadn't quite started. However, when you're running through the Weavers, you pretty much get to do so this one was inversion, but you get to do inversion Weavers, and it's actually so much fun. So for those of you saying the armor set's bad, hey, 1, we got a buff on the 19th for this set and all the hides. 2, you can fight the Weavers with this set, because the Weavers can be fought during inversion. Just made me really happy. Overall, the Weavers are not difficult bosses, but like I said, once you get the hands to stop glowing, you're just going to shoot it directly in the middle. The inside of it's going to glow a little bit. You shoot it on the inside. Boom! Once it's defeated, you can collect the rewards, and check this out. So, the Chaosium Hub now has the Weaver inside of it. There's a 1-hour cooldown, or a 1-hour timer minute that starts the instant a Weaver's placed into it. And what this means is in 1 hour, the containment count will go up by 1 on this hub. So what you're going to want to actually do is go from hub to hub, defeating Weavers and defeating Weavers, raising that containment count and raising that containment count. From what I can tell, when a tower reaches a containment count of 10, it'll update the progress bar on the phase counter, at least for phase 2. Another thing I want to mention is while we are on phase 2, there's no 100% confirmation that the phase 1 goal is actually going to be containing 10 weavers per tower, or what's going on with that, because maybe it has to be done during phase 1. Maybe that's the deal with the phase 1 progress bar. But so far our phase 2 progress bar has updated while we're defeating weavers in phase 2, but the phase 1 bar has not updated. It didn't really mention anything too specific. As a matter of fact, the bars actually have the exact same descriptions, but for whatever reason the phase 1 progress bar has not updated, and we have 4.4% on the phase 2, at least when I first started on this video. This really was like the first day the server's been heavy on the weavers, actually. So that's really nice. I'm actually probably gonna go hop in the weavers the instant I'm done recording this video, honestly, because yeah, I think this is a way better system of weavers. I really feel like there's a community progress and a community goal of defeating the weavers in this situation here a lot more than it did previously, of just going from weaver to weaver to weaver, defeating them for what purpose. Now they've given us an actual feeling and a sense of purpose by raising the containments in the winter. And also, I do believe there's 4 story endings. I know for a fact there's 4 story endings to this, and the story ending is all dependent on how we handle the extreme weather and how we defeat these weavers and handle these weavers. So it will be very interesting to see what ending we do get, how that ending's gonna play out, and we're just about a day and a half until we are actually into the next story. But once again, all you got to do to get those chests is just get 10 weaver containments on every single one of the hubs. Here's another tip for you: always go to the same world on every single hub. Just do world 1 every single hub, or whatever world your server is currently doing. If for some weird reason your server decides not to do world 1 as the worlds, well, that's really strange, because honestly I think everybody's just going to defaultly go to world 1. That's my suggestion for your server, but it's up to you and your server to actually decide that. But aside from that, like I said, man, I've missed defeating weavers. Man, have I missed defeating weavers. Man, am I so glad we got a reason to defeat them. And man, does it look nice to see them weavers in the little containment cells for the Chaosium hub here, guys. Overall, really enjoying this Way of Winter update. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you were wondering how to actually unlock these chests here. And further than that, this is kind of a Chaos Weaver guide. Really, there's not much to know aside from All Weather Stew makes a great item for keeping your temperature down. You're going to want a cold set, you're going to want a hot set. This guide has nothing in the title that says to do with how to build your cold and hot set, so I will not be teaching you that today. I am going to cover just the last bit of information about the hubs that I have yet to cover, actually. And as you can see here, there is an ally right here. I kept flashing my flashlight on him, and this is exactly why we bring adrenaline shots everywhere we go, because people just don't seem to know how to revive no more, guys. But aside from that, every single time, I swear, every time I do one of these, I do any sort of public event, I can be flashing the person down. They can be standing right beside me, and somehow they miss me and they don't see me, and I never have an adrenaline shot on me, and it's like, great. They probably just have adrenaline shots. But as you can see here, that was the end of the second Weaver battle. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was personal buffs as well as the regional buffs. So regional buffs, the level actually goes up based upon the number of Chaosium hearts fed to that tower. Personal buff goes up based upon the number of hearts you have personally contributed to that tower. And I said tower, but it's hub. So your personal contribution raises your level for personal buff. Donating Chaosium will raise the duration in which you have your Chaosium buff active for the personal buff. So with that being said, I do believe this is about everything I need to explain, so go ahead and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And, of course, as always, keep it beast mode.